Welcome back to another episode of Motogp, Mark, and today we're going to talk about Aprilia in crisis due to Jorge Martin's accident. Now, as we know, last weekend, Jorge Martin was involved in a pretty horrific accident where he suffered multiple rib fractures and, thorax damage, let's call it. And it's not looking likely that Jorge Martin will be back on a bike for at least 3 months, according to a MotoGP doctor. Currently he is still in Qatar, expected to be there for another 2 weeks approximately before he can even fly home, and then it's going to be recovery. But this leaves Aprilia in an awful state because they've lost their lead rider, Marco Bezzecchi. While I do really like Bez, he's not really doing the business. He's not bringing the team to where they are or need to be. And, when you looked at Jorge Martin coming back, while not at 100% fitness, he was on a par with Marco Bezzecchi straight away with very, very little testing on that Aprilia. So it is a conundrum for Massimo Rivola. What is he going to do? What do you do in this circumstance? Do you just bring in Lorenzo Savadori and just get on with the next 2 or 3 months? Realistically, any chance they had of finishing well in the points, let's just call it, if Bez doesn't, turn it around, is gone out the door. Do they just write off the year? Do they bring Agura up into the factory seat for now? Do they give him a couple of races up there, see what he's like in a full factory team? Or, do they just try and find someone else? For me, it kind of makes sense that they would bring Agura up. I don't think Trackhouse will allow it, to be fair. But it does make sense that they bring Agura up, give him a go and see where he is, and maybe bring in someone behind him. But I do find it really interesting and also really worrying for Aprilia on what they're going to do with Martin out for so long now. If you look at what's happened to him, like in 65 days, he had 3 major accidents, and it's just one of those seasons. I think he's feeling a little bit like Miguel Oliveira, if I'm very honest. But for me, I would love to see Agura take into the factory seat for a couple of races and see exactly how he does. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. What would you do if you were Aprilia? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.